Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. I am Sally Reyes, a member of the team of Sergeant at Arms. And if you would do me a favor and take your phones out and please set them to silence. Please help me welcome our president and co-sponsor. She is also an assistant Division D director, distinguished Toastmaster, and general intuitive and guardian angel. Take it away, the ineffable Cynthia Stott.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Leaders Worldwide. We have such an amazing agenda today, a meeting today. We have a fabulous keynote address by our Division D director, and I'm so excited that you are here. I would like to welcome all guests and members and start with our guest that will become a member, Natasha McLean. Would you like to unmute your mic and tell us why you're here and where you're coming in from?
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Natasha McLean. I am calling in from Copley, Ohio, and I'm here to grow my public speaking skills.
Great. Glad you're here. Thank you. And Curtis, can you tell me who our other guests are? I can't see the gallery view from my phone.
Okay, certainly. We have Frederica Alexander Duran.
Frederica from Dominica. Welcome, Frederica. Would you like to unmute your mic and say hello?
Hi, everybody. I am Frederica Alexander Duran from the island of Dominica, a constant visitor to your Toastmasters meeting. I will soon become a member, don't you worry. I am from the island of Dominica, as I said, and I belong to Nature High Toastmasters Club, which is my home club, and some other advanced clubs, but I will join yours one of these days. Very soon.
Okay, great. Maybe for our spacecraft. We're starting that in August.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get a special guest to be our demonstration speaker and our opening ceremony speaker. So stay tuned. I'm talking to her this week.
I will be there.
She's an Emmy award-winning voiceover actress. Woohoo! Great. So who else do we have as a guest?
Anita Cotti.
Anita. Hi, Anita. Welcome. Would you like to unmute your mic and tell us where you're calling in from and why you're at this meeting today? What you want to get out of it? Is Anita there? Maybe she's away from her mic. Who's our next guest? Roger.
Okay. Yes, we have Roger Swenson.
Roger Swenson. Hi, Roger. Welcome. Do you want to unmute your mic and tell us where you're calling in from and what you'd like to get out of today?
Yes, my name is Roger Swenson. I've been a Toastmaster member for 42 years. I live in Quincy. I'm a member of the Quincy Toastmasters plus 5 other clubs in the Boston, Cambridge, Massachusetts area. And I've been an area governor 5 times. I've been a division governor twice. And since the club's on virtual, I've been going all around the United States and other countries as a guest. So I'm pretty familiar with Toastmasters.
Great. You're an old hand at it. You're a professional Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Roger. We're so glad you're here. And do we have another guest?
We have, I hope I have the name right, Tevis Verrett.
Tevis, yes. Hey, Tevis, I'm so glad you made it in. You're my special VIP guest. Tevis is running for supervisor for Los Angeles County, and I know he wants to talk with Kimmy about universal income, basic universal income. So Tevis, can you tell us well, you're calling in from Los Angeles and what you'd like to get out of today? Are you there, Tevis? Are you muted? Maybe he's having a problem with his mic.
We actually lost Tevis, or
We lost him. Oh, I think he's having some connectivity problems.
Yes. As soon as he rejoins, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Did we get Simone? Sorry.
Simone. No, we didn't get Simone, I think. Did we? I think she was away from.
No, we haven't gotten Simone yet.
Hi, Simone. Welcome. Would you like to tell us where you're calling in from and what you'd like to get out of today? Is she available there? And Anita wasn't available either. So maybe we'll just catch them at the back end. They can talk about what their experience was and their takeaways and get some virtual chocolates, our favorite thing here at Leaders Worldwide, what we're famous for. Okay, so welcome everyone, members and guests, and I'll give it back. Want to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Leo Hickman. Hi, Leo.
Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is always an awesome opportunity to be able to speak to such a broad range of people from around the world. And today, we are going to be speaking on honoring freedom. How many things can that mean to all the countries around the world, all the cultures around the world, all the individuals around the world? We are going to have some great experience sharing today and what freedom means to us. But first, things first. The meeting theme, again, is honoring freedom. And from there, I would like to pass on to the general evaluator, Kadisha Curry, and she is going to speak on a few other roles. Kadisha?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Leo Hickman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our meeting. And I'd like to talk about my role as the general evaluator. As the general evaluator for the meeting, I will observe the meeting, make notes and offer reports and general comments at the end of the meeting. In addition, I have a team who will be assisting me in these duties today. I would first like to call on our timer, none other than our Michelle Pedicolis. Please help me welcome Michelle Pedicolis.
Thank you, Kadisha. I'm your timer, and I have the responsibility of giving you the correct time to prepare you for when the end of your speech is coming up so that you can finish in a timely fashion. And I have a number of different assignments. I have a keynote speaker who is speaking 15 minutes. So I will put up behind me the green light. Hold on a second. The green light, oh, this is a better one. Green light when she reaches 13, the yellow light when she reaches 14, and the red background when she reaches, actually, this is a better one too, when she reaches 15. And then she'll get 5 minutes for question and answer, and I'll also keep track of that and put a timing up for that. And then I have some speakers. Let me see what we have here. We have a 6-minute speech that must be an icebreaker. So she gets her green at 4. Yes.
Is that an icebreaker for Lola? Okay. Oh, yes, she is an icebreaker. I'm sorry. Yes. We don't usually have icebreakers in the main room, but we had an exception today. Yes.
Okay.
I appreciate that so much.
So Lola is going to get the green at 4, the yellow at 5, and the red at 6. And then we have, let's see, evaluator 2, speech number 2 is, oh, that's table topics. Hold on, let me see. Speech number 2, I don't have timing for, oh, let me see. Deborah Riener, okay, 10 to 12 minutes. So at 10,
Yes.
she gets the green, 11, she gets the yellow, and at 12, she gets the red. And then at table topics are 1 to 2 minutes. And so the green comes at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. No,
1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, that's right. 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. And then is the yellow. And then 2 minutes is I got mixed up with the
Red.
evaluators, the red. And then the evaluators have 3 minutes and they get the green at 2, the yellow at 2.5, and the red at 3. And I will do my best to give good timing. And then I will give a timing report. So I will let each of you know how you did on your timing, except for the keynote speaker. And that's it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Timer Michelle. Next, I'd like to call on our grammarian, Sally Reyes. Please help me welcome her.
I hope I'm not hi. Yes, and as we've said several times so far, that freedom is our magic word of the day, and it means so much to each one of us from every country and every sex to guarantee that people have the freedom to be themselves honestly. And please get excited about using that word. And I will be also checking out the uhs and the yeses and the nos and the ands and the buts. So we'll enjoy making our speeches a little tighter, as you notice, and all of us have started with 13 of something. And so don't be embarrassed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian. At the end of the meeting, during the evaluation portion, my team and I will return with our reports. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Hickman.
Thank you, Kadisha. That was awesome. And now that we know where we are about to go, let's pull up our anchor and begin to set sail with the master leader today, Isaac Ford.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leo. Toastmasters and welcome guests. Freedom is never given, it is won. The theme for today's meeting is to honor freedom. And one man comes to mind, Asa Philip Randolph. That quote that I just gave you was his quote. Asa Randolph was an American labor unionist, civil rights activist, a social politician. In 1925, he organized and led the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, the first mainly African-American union. On August 25th, 1937, the Pullman Company signed the first ever agreement between a union of Black workers and a major corporation. It was 12 years to the day that that agreement was signed. For the next 4 decades, Randolph carried forward the fight for equal rights. And in 1963, commemorating the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, he formed the Washington March for Jobs and Freedom. It was the first gathering that a young Martin Luther King Jr. delivered the I Have a Dream speech. And Randolph passed his torch on to the new generation of the fight for civil rights. If you get a chance, watch the movie 10,000 Black Men Named George. Now, that movie tells the fight that he had to get the union. And it gets his name from the fact that all the porters who worked on the train were referred to as George. George, bring me a cup of coffee. George, bring me the newspaper. George, please throw me over the train. Okay, I just added that last part. But in reality, George Randolph Asa Phillips is someone who needs to be recognized for fighting for freedom. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster Leon Leo Hickman.
Thank you, Isaac. We continue to learn today, and that does not stop now. As we prepare to bring our keynote speaker to the stage, Carolyn, she is also going to teach us some things from her experience. Let's start with a proper introduction. Carolyn Douglas has been a Toastmaster since 2012. Its communication and leadership program has served her well as she has advanced through her career and profession. She has now completed all the requirements to be awarded the DTM in the Legacy Education Program and will receive that this month.
Whoa.
In addition to that, today, as a thought leader, she will speak on honoring freedom in recognition of the now new federal holiday as of last week. Talk about timing, Juneteenth. Carolyn J. Douglas, honoring freedom, Carolyn J. Douglas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that beautiful introduction that I wrote that you read so well. And I want to appreciate first and foremost all of the comments that have already been placed into the room. It is my intention for this, which is titled a keynote speech, to be an interactive, facilitated presentation. That means I have some questions for you, and I will ask you to place your response in the chat. In addition to that, I will be assisted by my moderator, Cynthia Stott, because I will ask for you again to place your voice in the room. Before I get into the speech, one more thing of instruction about how we want to do this. Please, Catherine, I would love to make sure that the timer is pinpointed so that I can see the timer right along with myself. All right. Fellow Toastmasters, it is with great glee and pleasure that exists in my heart on today. It is still bubbling over from what happened on, should we say, June the 15th, that moved to June the 16th, and the actual signing of this new federal holiday named Juneteenth on June the 17th. When I was approached by Cynthia to do this talk on Juneteenth, I pondered, like, what would that really be like? What would I say? And I had no idea that the forces in the universe were already in play, acting to bring such a thing into existence that made my sharing of information so much easier. I don't have the same history as everybody else, and I have the same history as everyone else. I have the history of life. I have the history of this country. I have the African history as well as history in other countries. But what we all have in common is that there has been this thing of struggle, challenges in life that has called us to be pulled forward so that we can find out who we truly are and become more of who we truly are. Now, I heard a little bit earlier that we're not just born with this freedom. My spiritual teaching from being Baptist, being Mennonite, being Christian, letting go of that, decided that I wanted to understand other philosophies and spiritual traditions, lets me know that there is a common thought where we're born with freedom as our birthright. Everyone, every person, no matter who you are, you're born with freedom as your birthright. Coming here, you are born to develop and grow, to be free, to be who you desire to be, who you came here to be. Now, I know that sounds a bit repetitive, but it's a point of reference that I would love for you to have, because you are always more than you think you are. We are greater than we think we are. We have gleams of ideas and concepts within us that we go on a wonder trip about. I wonder what would happen if I did this. I dream of this particular thing. That is the seed of your full potential that is within you. Now let's look at this simple example that I want to use to make this a little bit simple and clarify. Are you familiar with the seed called the acorn? In that seed is everything that's needed for the oak tree to grow to its fullest potential. In the seed, everything is right there. It doesn't have to call on, oh, you forgot the leaves, give me the leaves. Everything is in the seed. So when each one of us come here, the seed of life, the seed of possibility, the seed of potential is already here. So what are we going to do with it? Let's look at what is freedom to you. I believe freedom is placed within you. As a child, I can remember going out and running in the woods, feeling free to express that nature as a child. Going out into the street, playing, daring a car to hit us, roller skating, daring anything to go wrong. Children exhibit freedom and they think nothing of it. I have a granddaughter who used to just run out of the house, flapping her arms, and she would say, I'm flying, I just want to fly, I just want to fly. So we thought perhaps she would become a pilot or an airline hostess or something, but no, she has decided to go into social service. But here's the question that I want to place before you now. What is freedom? Please write your answer in the chat. 25 words or less. What is freedom to you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it mean? Freedom. Freedom. Freedom to exist, to enjoy infinite possibilities, to touch, to taste. And Cynthia, as soon as you see an answer, would you bring that to the discussion?
I will. We just got one in. Kadisha says liberty. Freedom is liberty. Jay Ligda says freedom equals the ability to follow your heart. And Leo Hickman says equal opportunity. Marcus Martinez says the space to be oneself authentically. Michelle Tony says freedom, opportunity, abundance of life. And Kimmy Avery says freedom feels like I have a choice in how I think, feel, experience love, and experience joy.
All right.
And we have a couple, just two more here.
Okay.
Natasha Clean says the ability to make choices without limitations. And the final one we have for now is Maureen Xavier. Freedom is access to the unlimited I am. Freedom feels many different ways depending on what I am being in the moment. And we got just one more, two more. Keep coming in. From Curtis Greaves, he says, freedom is the ability to make my own choices, recognize and accepting all consequences and owning them. Cassandra Garabedian says, freedom to me is to dream, to love, to live, to be without limitations. And Frederica says, freedom is living my life how I want to. Woo! Powerful.
Thank you for putting that voice in the room, because freedom is being aware that it is an internal thing for you. It is a special thing for you. My freedom may not be identical to yours, even though we may experience some of the same things. I like this definition of freedom because of my spiritual proclivity. Freedom is trusting the spirit within, the guidance within, listening to my heart. Let me give you a story. I have always sought the advice and the counsel of people that I love, people that I respect. One of the main reasons for doing that is because I just felt like I didn't know enough in the world. But here's the thing, every time my beautiful, well-meaning, loving people gave me their advice for what they thought about my life, and because I didn't trust my own guidance and followed their directions, I was unhappy. And I was locked into doing something their way until finally I woke up and decided, I'm gonna stop asking permission from all of these people about my life and do what I think is the right thing for me. And if I make a mistake, I won't tell anybody. No one would ever know. So freedom was to do this. Let me read a statement from you, for you, from one of my favorite transcendentalists. You may know it when you hear the quote. To believe your own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all persons, that is genius. So speak your latent conviction and it shall be universal sense. This is a statement by Ralph Waldo Emerson found in his article, Self-Reliance. Let me repeat just a part of that again. To believe your own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all people. That is freedom. That is freedom for you. Very personal, no matter what it looks like. That's freedom. So I have a second question for you. Since we have our definitions of what freedom is, what does honoring freedom mean? Because once again, our definition is quite personal. So what does honoring freedom mean to you? Please place your response in the chat.
And while people are responding to that beautiful question of what does honoring freedom mean to you, I'm going to read these amazing comments we got about Carolyn and her magnificent speech. We got, and responses. Michelle Tony says, great responses from the audience, from all the members and all the guests. Kimmy Avery says, inspired responses. Then she says, Carolyn is so dynamic. Wowza. And then Maureen says, being with Carolyn warms my heart. She is an example of living free to me. And Maureen, Kimmy Avery says, agreed. She radiates authentic, heart-centered beauty. And Maureen says, honoring freedom is allowing myself the space to be exactly as I am. Cassandra says, to let nothing or no one dim your light. Amen. So true. Keep your responses coming. That's all we have so far.
All right, and I'm seeing this green. Let me give you some additional insight into what honoring freedom means. It means we're willing to look at our own uncomfortable history too. It also means that it is to know that it's possible to tell our truth and to be authentic with ourselves and be authentic within our environments. And that you can actually use the platform of your voice to inspire and honor the freedom that you know exists in the world. What is your personal mission statement? What is your personal vision? My vision is to touch hearts, to touch minds, and to transform lives. And the way that I do that is through speaking truth. Here is one that I want you to know about me for you. I believe that which I want for myself is the same thing that I want for you. I want for myself to have a good life. I want you to have that freedom to have a good life, no matter how you decide it is to be manifested. Now, the next thing that we want to cover in terms of this, because we just won't get to all of it, is how do you challenge yourself to activate the freedom that is within you? And I ask this question for this one simple reason. We all have dreams. We all have dreams. Harriet Tubman said, every dream begins with the dreamer. Every person has a story. And each one of us right here, right now, no matter what the age is, have an idea, a dream, or something within us that has been egging us on. Because it is through the dreams that we have and the imaginations that we got that we're pulled forward to begin to experience and to know that dream into a reality. I'm going to have to bring this to a close. We won't be able to get to the answers to the last questions, unless, of course, you want to just put something in the chat that we can deal with during the question and answer.
Yes, please.
But I
We have
want
extra
to
time
thank you so
we have-
much for your participation at this point.
We
I
have extra
encourage you-
time for Q&A. So yes, please give us that question.
The question is, how would you activate freedom within you, especially for you to bring forth that additional dream? Because you have the full potential already within you now. Why? Because the seed of freedom, the seed of greatness, the seed of the ability to do what you can do is already there. And all of that potential is there to just grow up and out and shine. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Great. And we're going to do Q&A. So I'll just go into that, Leo. So I'm going to talk about what was given already. That was amazing speech, and I love it. And keep your answers coming as I read what you said before for the previous question. Awesome. Okay. Okay, we ended with Cassandra's to let nothing or no one dim your light. Yes. And then Natasha said, honoring freedom is exercising your rights. Yes. Kimmy Avery said, to me, honoring freedom for myself and others is to allow us to be our full, inspired selves. Yes. And Michelle Tony said, ditto what Cassandra said. And Leo Hickman said, honoring freedom equals getting past things being fair and honoring on doing what is right. Powerful. And Jay Ligda said, honoring freedom means to live by internal authority over any external authority. Beautiful. Kimmy Avery says, my vision is to enliven and inspire others to live their dreams and shine their light to the world. I want everyone to experience love, connection, joy, vibrancy, and integrity. Oh,
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes.
And our guest Simone says, honoring freedom means to be free to make your own choices and allow others to do the same. And Natasha McLean says, that was phenomenal. Maureen Xavier says, I would activate that dream by knowing that nothing is right or wrong about what I truly desire. Oh. Rosemary Sweeney says, wow, 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 Carolyn. And Deborah Weiner says, being able to say no is freedom. Absolutely. If you can't say no, you can't say yes. That's powerful. Kathleen Pill says, to me, it also means to respect the good in everyone, in everything. Oh, that was our answers for so far, but wow, Carolyn, what an amazing speech.
Well, thank you. This is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, because when I finally decided that I wanted to come further out of who I thought Carolyn was, I booked a trip to Melbourne, Australia, going all the way across the continent, across the world, to meet new people. And the funny thing about my decision to do that is that the people I hanged out with once I got to the Parliament of World Religion were right up the street there in Berkeley. I howled. But I did meet wonderful new people. This was back in December 2009, and I've attended several of those sessions since then. I have new friends that are international from various countries, and we see one another and we enjoy the freedom. So we talked about the last thing was a dream. Harriet Tubman, every dream begins with a dreamer. Please remember this. When you have a dream, there is always a delivery system. When you have a dream, there's always a delivery system. Always. It can come about. If there are no other questions, I will say that I'm complete, and I thank you for your patience and your time.
Well, Carolyn, that was beautiful, but hold on, because we've got some more coming your way. They're on fire for you, Carolyn. Kathleen Pill. We already read that one. Michelle
I see one.
Says, freedom for me is to act from my heart and spirit without concern about the discomfort or judgment of others. Ooh.
Awesome.
And Cynthia, Maureen had said earlier, Carolyn, how do you act even greater dreams from yourself?
Precisely. I saw that, and the way I activate, a greater dream for myself is I remember that as a child, I was taught to color inside the lines. Now is the time to bust out and start coloring outside of the line. Do something that people would not expect you to do. Surprise yourself and do something more, something that you would not expect yourself to do. Stretch yourself. You have to be the initiator, because once again, you already have the delivery system. Once you decide to do this, the universe conspires to make it all come together. It conspires. You will be surprised at who will show up and provide you with the information that you may need, or the connection that you may need, that gives you an avenue to the next part of, how do I make this dream come about? So just start taking the big leap. Take the big leap, and that way. Move away from any kind of limitation that you have. If you've ever said, I won't do this, let go of it. Release it, let it go, and just say, I'm open to new possibility because I have the potential.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I just want to say, I am so grateful and so glad that you are on our leadership team for our district. You are our current Division D director, and you are our future program quality director for in July 1st, 2021. So excited. Woohoo!
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Beautiful. Any last words? You got about 30 seconds here.
Be well, everyone. I support you in your dreams.
Oh, beautiful. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
That was beautiful. So much great information, so much enthusiasm in speaking of freedom, which makes sense. This is America, right? It's what we were founded upon. Rock and roll. Well, now that we're finished with the Q&A, we're going to move into a 5-minute break and talk about timing. Are you guys looking at the agenda? What? Right on time. All right, 6:41, let's take a 5-minute break. And when we will convene with the Zoom host, Curtis Greaves.
And timer 5 minutes on the clock. And I just want to read one more comment that we received at the last minute. Cassandra Garabedian says, you make my spirit happy, Carolyn. Ah, me too. Me too.
And I just want to say welcome to Tracy Stewart as our guest, one of our guests. Would you please, I sent you a chat. My name's Kimmy, and I sent you a chat with our guest registry. And if you could sign that, that would be wonderful. Thank you. See you at the end of the break.
Let's see. So Marcus, are you there? I want to confirm that you're coming into the level 1 and 2 breakout session with us.
Do you want to?
Hi, Kathleen. Yes, I would. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay. Great.
We'll be so happy to have you. It's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Thank you.
And Anita, I still need you to sign the guest registry.
Maybe you can send it to her via private chat.
Okay.
Okay. Enjoy your break, everyone. So much more to be continued. we're done with our break. And Curtis, do you have all the breakout people in their room, including Marcus? Martinez wanted to go into the breakout room, so it's Marcus and Cassandra. And
Yes. So I have 6 persons assigned right now to the breakout room, according to the agenda. Plus, I have Jay and Marcus joining as well. I don't know if there's anyone else here that wants to join the breakout room now before I officially move
anyone else
everyone.
want to join the breakout room? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Was I going in a breakout room, Miss Cynthia?
I think you can if you want to, or you can stay in the main room. Oh, no, you're going to the breakout room because you're speaking. You're giving your icebreaker speech, right?
Yes.
Yes, you're going into the breakout room. And Jay says his friend Helena might join soon. Could you send her to the Speechcraft breakout room if she does? So if we get Helena, oh, here she comes. Okay, just in time. Make sure to mark her for the breakout room so she can hear Jay speak.
And learn about Toastmasters.
Speaking. And learn about Toastmasters. Great. And Natasha's speaking and Michelle Tony speaking. It's going to be great.
Jay, is she joining now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her as yet.
Okay, and Kathleen, do you need anyone else in the breakout room? Regina Davis has offered to go in the breakout room. She can help you with some timing or evaluations. Do you want her to join you?
You think I'm going to turn down an offer to be in the room with Regina Davis?
Okay, let's send Regina Davis to the breakout room too. Thank you, Regina. You guys are gonna have fun.
Should I go to a breakout room?
I'm sorry?
Should I go to a breakout room or what?
Are you is that Tevis?
That's Roger.
Roger.
Roger. Either way, you want to go to the breakout room or you can stay here. We're going to have 2 speeches here and table topics, and we're going to have 3 speeches and a little table topics in this breakout room.
I can stay here then. Okay,
you can stay here? Okay, great.
All right, let's roll.
Okay, rock and roll.
Wait, is it Helena? Jay, is it Helena?
I was just going to say, I see a Helena there.
Helena?
Yeah.
She's going into the breakout room too.
Oh, I didn't even see when she joined. Okay, so
Helena says, hello, guys.
Hi, Helena.
Welcome, Helena. Helena or Helena, I'm not sure how you say that.
You'll have to tell us.
Thank you. Awesome. You'll enjoy your breakout room with Jay.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
You can call me Helena.
Helena. Oh.
Helena.
Thank you. Very good
everyone.
to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck, Jay.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm sending everyone over now.
All right. And please confirm when they've all arrived safely into the breakout room. Have they all gone over to the breakout room now?
I'm not
Just
sure.
one more.
One more.
Helena, you should have a message on your screen. Invite you to join the breakout room now.
Okay, and Helena says, can you send me the invite again? I think there should be some boxes that will say breakout rooms, and you can click on that. It does on my phone. I don't know what it looks like on the computer. Do you know,
Right.
Curtis?
At the bottom of the screen, there should be like a square that's cut into 4 more squares, labeled as breakout rooms. So you can click on that. And that should direct you over.
Great. Did you find it, Helena? Beautiful name.
There we go.
All
Everyone
right.
is already sitting.
Yay. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Leo Hickman. Woohoo!
On. Make sure my speaker. Okay, we are off mute, which means let's get this plane going. We have everyone in the breakout room, which means now it's just us, and it's time to talk about 2 speeches coming up. And we are going to have our evaluator, first evaluator, Kimmy, introduce the speech path, the project, and some timing, just to tell us a little bit about the speech coming up. Kimmy?
Okay, great. Hello, everybody. I am evaluating Lola Platt. Am I saying that right? Let me just make sure. Lola Platt and her Lola Jareen Pratt. I am still healing. I am still healing Lola Jareen Pratt. And she is doing an icebreaker speech. So I will be looking at her vocal variety, her eye contact, her presence, and I will be guiding her with feedback. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kimmy. Always showing up, always on time, and always smooth. Let's keep these transitions rolling. Let us welcome Lola Pratt. I am still here. Lola Pratt.
Okay, I'm going to get myself on camera. I can't see the timer. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, there we go.
Lola, you have quite a bit of feedback. Do you have a speaker or something on?
No. It's my laptop. Do you still get feedback?
There is quite a bit of an echo. What else could we try?
Do you think I
Are
should
there
turn
2 microphones? Are you on your phone also?
No.
Or Bluetooth?
Double check my phone.
Okay, you have 2 microphones.
Okay, let me see. Let me make sure. I don't have anything else going. Does it still sound like an echo?
Yeah, it's very echoey. It sounds like a baseball stadium.
Okay.
Are you using a Bluetooth?
No, I'm just using my regular laptop. If I sit down.
Oh my goodness. You're not using a microphone?
No.
Wow.
Okay.
You may need to, so Lola, I'm not sure if there's something strange going on with your login session. If you want to quickly try to log off and log back onto the meeting, that may clear it up.
The other possibility is if you have a headset, you could plug it into your laptop and see if that improves it.
Do you have a headset?
Yeah, not near me. Should I try to go off and come back on?
I think that.
Without a headset, that's probably the fastest.
Or
So,
could we start with the second speech and go back to Lola next?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
sounds good. I'll leave and come back.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. See you
All
soon.
good, Lola. We have this plane in flight, and we are about to make transitions today. We are working on our freedom. Okay, so second evaluator is going to be Christine Robinson. Is Christine around?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you go.
All
Christine,
right.
could we have you introduce the second speech and give us some of the speech parameters?
Why, certainly. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I have the pleasure of being the evaluator for Deborah Wiener. I have 2 pieces of paper that regarding this speech. The first comes from our Vice President of Education. I couldn't reach Deborah personally. And she says that Deborah Weiner is going to do a 10 to 12 minute speech because, is somebody on the line? Okay. She's going to do a 10 to 12 minute speech because she's practicing for a 10 to 12 minute speech somewhere else. She's going to use the team collaboration level 3 speech to inspire the audience. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech expanded to 10 to 12 minutes for the gig. That's what I'm told. But here's what you need to know from Toastmasters International. It's right here. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. So we get to pretend we're unfamiliar with this person. And it goes on for me as the evaluator, and for you, the listener, another evaluator out there, not just me. It says the member completing this project is practicing the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. So again, we get to fake it. And to do this, the member presents a topic that is new or unfamiliar to our club members. And we are to listen for a topic that is unusual or unexpected in our club. We are to take note of the member's ability to present the unusual topic in a way that keeps the audience engaged. So we've got to be engaged here. This speech is not a report on the content of the Connect with Your Audience project, whatever that is. I didn't get a chance to talk to Deborah, like I said, but we're very much looking forward to hearing her speak again. And I'll let the Toastmaster do the rest of the introductions. I'll see you a little bit later. I'm going to tell her how she did on what I just read, okay?
Leo, are you there?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Big transitions. We are transitioning smoothly here today. All right. Distinguished Toastmaster Deborah has been a Toastmaster since 2013. She is the Vice President of Membership at Leaders Worldwide and is also the Area Director of F16. She has been a successful business owner for 33 years. I would love to hear more about that. And today, the name of her speech is, Are You Still Making Decisions from Your 10-year-old self? Deborah Weiner, are you still making decisions from your 10-year-old self?
Are you still making decisions from your 10-year-old, your current decisions from your 10-year-old self? Let me take you back to when I was 10 years old. It was a chilly winter snowy day. A group of children were sliding down the bunny hill, laughing with glee. However, I was standing on the top of a different hill with my overbearing and manipulative sister and my only friend, Julie. Our hill was a steep, dangerous, terrifying hill. And Julie and my sister wanted me to go down this hill on a rickety old wooden sled. I'm full of fear, but I'm used to doing what I was told. If you were standing there with me, you would have heard them say, come on, Debbie, don't be a scaredy cat. You can do it, chicken, chicken, chicken. I just wanted them to stop pressuring me. I wanted them to like me. I chose them over me. Have you ever chosen another person over yourself? Against my intuition and gut feeling, I got onto that rickety wooden sled. And within a few seconds, I think to myself, this is a bad decision. The speed is picking up. The bushes and trees are flying by me faster and faster. There's no way to stop this thing. No brakes to slow me down. I have to think quickly. I make a sudden and tragic decision. I see a tree ahead of me. I aim for it, thinking it'll stop me. Bam! My face smashes into the tree. My bones crack. I'm sitting in a puddle of blood. My nose is broken. It still affects me to this day. Decades later, my nose is crooked and it's hard to breathe. I can't help but feel remorse. Why did I let myself get onto that rickety old sled when I didn't want to? Why did I let my sister and Julie goad me and bully me into making a bad decision? My gut was telling me no, but I couldn't say no. That's how I found myself making many bad decisions over my lifetime without thinking if it was right for me, if it was safe for me, if it was what I wanted to do or what I needed to do. You might be wondering how a 10-year-old could have been so easily convinced to take this dangerous sled ride. I was born into a severely abusive, dysfunctional, and neglectful home. In my family, the abuse of women and children had been going on for generations. There was an unwritten code of silence that prevented anyone from getting help or stopping the abuse. By the time I was 10 years old, I had learned that no was not an acceptable answer. I had been groomed to serve and please everyone around me. My needs were not important. My role was to do what I was told every time without question or complaint. For me, survival in my family required complete and immediate compliance. If my intuition or gut feeling was telling me otherwise, I had to ignore it, tune it out, and turn it off. Is your intuition or internal GPS system turned off? Most of us use a GPS system on our phone or in our cars. We can't get to our destination without it. It tells us where to go next and when to turn. By the time I was 10, I had already lost connection to my own internal GPS system, my intuition. Is your internal GPS system on silent mode? Or is the volume turned down so low that it's a whisper? The worst part about the abuse that I suffered was that I had lost my identity. I didn't know who I was because I had lost my connection to my intuition, my ability to set healthy boundaries, and my ability to feel and understand emotions. There are many circumstances that could lead to pushing down your intuition. Were your parents strict, religious, immature, neglectful, or absent? Maybe you had harsh teachers, manipulative friends, or a domineering boss. I did. Were you taught that no was not a complete sentence? Maybe you were told that what your intuition was telling you was wrong or incorrect. Maybe you were gaslighted with, it didn't happen that way. Have you ever realized after the fact that your intuition was telling you to turn left and you turn right, and maybe something bad happened, like a car accident? You may override your intuition by being busy so you cannot hear or listen. I did. With my intuition turned off, I could only feel pain and anxiety and panic. But underneath the pain were all the emotions I was never allowed to feel. I couldn't feel or distinguish between my emotions of sadness and anger. Do you push down your anger so that it turns into sadness and depression? Are you numb? You might have heard of fight, flight, or freeze. There's a fourth survival strategy called fawn, which is people pleasing. I was always on high alert, filled with panic and anxiety in fight or flight mode, watching out for people's needs. I was Debbie on the spot. If you needed something, I was already on it. This is how I survived my childhood and most of my adulthood. Do you have healthy boundaries? I grew up not being taught about personal boundaries. I thought a boundary was a fence between two properties. I learned that I was overstepping others' boundaries by overhelping. I was depriving people of learning the lessons that they came in to learn by saving them before they even asked for help. This pattern of ignoring my own needs and overgiving took a huge toll on my physical health and energy, causing the suppressed emotions to go into my body. My adrenals were compromised. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, exhausted and drained with no energy left. There was an area of my life where I felt alive and energized. One of my favorite things to do was to visit model homes. I would tour these beautifully decorated homes and I would say, this feels great. It feels so good in here. I was inspired by the way I felt in these spaces, and I began to practice what I call decorating and to change the energy in my home. I could see how these changes affected people and their energy. They would light up. And I realized I had a gift for creating beautiful spaces that people would never want to leave. I continued with this journey and became a certified Western Feng Shui master. I guide my clients to change their spaces and how they feel on both the inside and the outside. Separately, I have owned a successful business with my husband for 33 years. My employees told me they didn't want to go into the office. They told me they didn't like the way it felt. Because of the COVID-19 lockdown, I hadn't been in the office for over a year. So I went in and I saw that it did need an update. It felt old and stagnant. And people didn't want to come back to work. They didn't want to come back to work from working at home because it didn't feel good to them. So I made significant energy changes and adjustments using my expertise as a Feng Shui master. If energy doesn't flow, it becomes stagnant. If the energy in a business is stagnant, the sales become stagnant. After making Feng Shui changes, our sales increased significantly. Within 8 months, our revenue increased by 88%. This increase is because the energy has improved. Employees are excited to come to work and to talk to customers. They are motivated, creative, and productive. Just like you can feel the energy in a room, you can feel the energy of the people around you. I loved that I could use my Feng Shui skills in my home and office to make people feel good. What I hadn't done yet was Feng Shui myself. I needed to Feng Shui the energy inside of me. I needed to declutter, throw out the old garbage, the beliefs and perspectives that didn't work for me anymore. Fix your inner landscape and environment, and you can change results, including your communication, your relationships, and your business endeavors. There wasn't one moment that woke me up to begin my healing. For me, it was a series of painful and bad decisions that propelled me to change. I now heal myself by meditating, being still, and breathing. And these practices allow me to heal myself so that I can trust myself and the voice inside of me. And now I can make decisions from my current self rather than my 10-year-old self. A few weeks ago, if you were sitting with me and my son, Aaron, you would have heard him say, "Mom, do you want to go bobsledding?" This time, my 10-year-old self wasn't in control. I was able to hear my intuition guiding me to know what was auspicious for me. And I said, "Hell no." Yahoo! No means no. No is a complete sentence. I didn't know that no could feel so good. And all these internal reflections, this reflective work wasn't just for me. I discovered that I'm here to change my lineage. I am the one that is willing to speak up and to work on myself. While changing myself, I am changing those around me and my family for generations to come. You might be wondering, can you apply this to yourself? Yes, you too have the powerful gift of intuition. You can set healthy boundaries. You can learn to more deeply feel and understand your emotions, you will experience more joy. It is never too late. You can change, grow, and evolve. If it's not too late for me, it's not too late for you. If I can do it, so can you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. And believe it or not, I literally just hired a feng shui master to outline my new business. So you have set a new baseline for me at 88%. If they do not hit it, they're gone. No, right on. Thank you so much for that, the insight. And again, don't forget to feng shui yourself. Do we have Lola? Oh, if we could take 1 minute and leave some comments in the chat box. Timer, do we have a minute? It's okay if I don't see. Michelle seems like she's doing something. It's okay, because I was keeping the mental timer, watching the sunset. I'm on it.
It's okay, I'm on it.
Okay. I had a Jedi mind trick going though. No, right on. In the meantime, has Lola got back on?
Yep, I'm here.
Yes,
How do I sound now?
Oh, you sound great. I can't
Okay,
wait
I
to hear
think,
the speech.
yeah, I think I was trying to earlier get on my phone and I probably didn't exit properly. So my apologies for that, you guys.
Lola, we gonna call that you are feng shuiing your life.
Yes.
Right on. We working it out.
Shall I introduce Lola again?
Please do, Kim.
Or
Yep,
okay.
And we have her now, so it has been a minute. Please do introduce her.
Okay, let me just come right here. Oops. Lola Jareen Pratt. I'm still healing. I'm still healing. Lola Jareen Pratt.
It's 7:15.
Thank you. Trauma. I've been traumatized. Many have experienced generational trauma. It's been a rough past year. The pandemic, I'm still healing. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, I'm still healing. Voter suppression, racial injustice, I'm trying to heal. Global warming, I'm not healing. Fellow Toastmasters and our most honored guests, we are all still healing and reeling from a past year. Memories of the past still present in the air. Can't we all just get along? What in the insurrection is going on? I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just speaking reality, even through my own rose-colored glasses. While we try to move forward and not dwell in the past, does the world just need a hug? More words of comfort and support? As the past year has reminded us that life is precious and much too short. For the thousands of lives lost, are we all still healing? Are we all still reeling? through the mask and defund the police and I can't breathe. I just wish this madness would cease. Does the fight for freedom, it must go on. It must go on for those who have been treated unfairly, unjust, because of race, because of religion, or even sexual orientation. These are all injustices, and I'm still healing. I want to say that pain doesn't last always. Dark days don't last always. We can still find our way through the other side. We've actually started to see the other side. On the horizon, I could see better days ahead. Our state has opened up, especially for those who have been vaccinated. And for those who haven't been vaccinated, it's a matter of still protecting yourself from wearing a mask. We heard Carolyn speak earlier about the passing of the federal holiday of Juneteenth. We're still healing from the past, but it cannot be forgotten. Or how can we move forward? How can we heal and correct those mistakes of the past if we aren't trying to heal? What does the world need more of? More peace, more love, more hugs, and in person, not just on Zoom? I asked again, how do we move on? How do we heal? This is a world that needs peace and love. And we are truly the freedom on a pathway to peace and love. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Lola. Thank you. And hey, I went and got a candle for remembrance also. Spread love in everything we do.
Yeah, that's what came up.
There it is. Whether it's hugs, kisses, or just calling someone to say, I care about you.
Yes.
We are figuring it out as we go. Thank you for an awesome speech and thought-provoking speech. Next, we move into, guess what?
1 minute.
Topics.
We're going to have 1 minute
Oh,
silence.
1 minute. See, I'm getting
before
excited.
That, no problem.
Right on.
But I just want to double check with Curtis. Natasha McLean had some trouble and she hopped off. Is she back in the breakout room now, Curtis? Can you verify that?
Yes, she is. She's still in the breakout.
Okay, she popped off and then she popped back in. Okay, great.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you,
It's a
Michelle.
minute. You're welcome.
Rocking and rolling today. All right, so next we're going to move in accordance with Maureen, and Maureen is going to lead us into table topics, which obviously is a section that I love because I was about to skip the 1 minute. Congratulations. So let's take some time. Let's get ready to rock and roll with table topics and Maureen.
Thank you so much, Leo. I appreciate it.
As the topics master, I will facilitate table topics, and table topics is the opportunity for you to speak impromptu for up to 2 minutes. Impromptu is with something that isn't planned, isn't organized, or is not rehearsed. In keeping with the theme today, honoring freedom, I have 3 questions that I'll be asking. Do we still have a time for up to 3 people? I remember hearing something about maybe not having enough time for the whole thing.
I think 3 is okay. Yeah.
Okay. So do we have anyone here, especially guests, who would like to do table topics? Raise your hand either with the reactions button or so that I can see you. Who would like to be a table topic presenter? Anyone? Anyone? Thank you, Kimmy. Would any of the guests like to participate? Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn. Okay, we'd love to hear from you again today. I know we'd love it. Frederica or Anita or Lola.
Eva or Simone.
Or Eva or Tracy.
I don't feel it if nobody pitches in, but
Give it a try.
Is it Simone?
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
give it a try.
Okay, great. So thank you, Simone. Kadisha, I saw you go like that. Was that a yes or a clap?
I was cheering. I was clapping for Simone stepping up.
Great. Thank you so much. So Simone and Kimmy and anyone else? Any other guest?
Didn't you have Carolyn?
Carolyn. Yes. Okay. That's what we will do.
So have one of our members go first so they can show the guests how to do it.
I will do that.
Yeah.
The timer will show green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. So I want to make sure each one that's speaking, if you can see the timer. Okay. The first, let's everybody take a deep breath. The first question is, Kimmy, if you would go first. The question is there one area of your life that you'd like to be more free? If there is, what is it? And tell us more.
I think I would like to spend more time traveling. I'm currently traveling on a road trip, and I love the flowing freedom of it. I'm able to see my clients on Zoom and still be in Yellowstone Park or at a wedding in North Dakota or visiting my dear friend from college in Idaho. I love traveling. I love meeting new people. And I found myself 2 nights ago looking at trailers that I could pull behind my car that would be like a camper so that I could see more of the beautiful United States. I also want to go to Africa. I want to go to Europe more, Eastern Europe, China. Like I want to see everything. And to me, traveling and meeting people is something that just fills my heart and gives me a sense of freedom. Back to you, Maureen.
Thank you so much, Kimmy. I love the vivid visualizations of the travel and what that could be like. Thank you.
Yeah.
Simone, would you like to go next? And if you would, can you bring yourself off of, can you show your video? Beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's do that question again. Is there an area of your life that you would like to be more free? And if there is, tell us more.
The area in my life that I would like to be more free is to be free to have the freedom in doing public speaking. It's an area of my life that I struggle with, And that is why I'm participating in Speechcraft. And this is what I've been working on. It's an area that it's challenging for me because I don't like to speak in public a lot. I don't like to speak in front of a lot of people. I don't like to be in front of a lot of crowds and in front of large groups. I ponder about a lot of things when I speak. I think about, is my accent in the way? Is it okay? Do they understand what I'm saying? Is it clear enough? There's a lot of different things that concern me when I speak. So therefore, when I'm doing public speaking, this is something that I struggle a lot with. Thank you. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. My experience of you is you are already a fluent and amazing public speaker. So I definitely resonate with the fears of public speaking, and I see you as being one who can and already has impacted us greatly today. Thank you.
Thank
Carol,
you.
You're welcome. Carolyn, the question I have for you is, in what area of your life are you the most free?
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. I feel that I am most free in my personal living space, this area of my life, free to make the choice on how I want to live my life. I can resonate very easily with the experience that Deborah had, because there in my home was children are to be seen and not heard. And I remember saying within my own self, once I was on my own, I was not going to be living around people who were constantly telling me what to do, how to do, when to do, all of that whole 9 yards. So just being able to live in an environment of my making that allows me to enjoy the friends and associates that I want to spend time with, as well as my family, is joy to me. There are those moments when I say, oh my, I would really love to have this or that. And then I remember, I'm happy. I'm whole, I'm complete, and I enjoy the freedom of the life that I have. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for both telling us where you feel the most free and the fact that you're human and what you do to bring you back into the sense of freedom. I appreciate it very much. Now back to you, Toastmaster Leo.
Rock and roll. I appreciate that, Marina. Way to go. Very smooth again. Next piece that we are going to get into is going to be our general evaluation, and we're going to bring Khadija back to the stage. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Hickman. Okay, so now we're moving right into the evaluation portion of our meeting. We had our prepared speaking, we had our impromptu speaking, now it's for evaluations. I'd like to call on evaluator number 1, and that is our Christine Robinson, who will evaluate Deborah Wiener's speech. Please help me welcome Christine Robinson.
That was lovely. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And again, welcome to all, and most especially our friend Deborah Wiener. Well, you certainly got my attention with a beautiful storytelling style right off the beginning. My little 10-year-old was sitting there waiting for this story about you and your mom and your friend going down the hill in a sled on the snow. Coming from the Sierras, I very well know what it is to be on a sled on the snow. And you did very well with that opening. I would have liked to have known more about your friend. We got to hear you don't like your mom much in that description, but what about the friend? And that's where I would like to tell you, I would like to see balance in your presentation. And what I mean by that is, first off, you know this story. You know this story really, really well. And so I found you were kind of going back and forth between your notes and the story. And I would like to see you just let her rip, tell the story. And there you are. That way you're really going to capture and connect your audience right now. And that's where I'd like you to start, is in that position of telling the story. There were lots of rhetorical questions. There were 3 minutes of rhetorical questions. I would suggest having some very poignant questions, just a few, and pause. Ask the question, then pause. Allow us to catch up with some very meaty questions that at times were kind of a blur. That would bring more balance into your presentation. The whole story was about you, with about 1 minute for us. A speech is like a meal, and you need to feed us more. You gave a great story about feng shuiing yourself and how that all happened, but how do we do that for us? You talked about being a meditation and quiet. Well, what else could we do? How can you help the rest of us? Many of us came from abused backgrounds. And so my 10-year-old still wants to know, how do I work with my 61-year-old adult? That's what I'd like to know. I think that this speech will be very helpful for many of us who get the chance to hear it. But as I said, I would like more focus on the audience and maybe less on your story to bring us back into balance and keep us connected. I would like to see more vocal variety. I'd like to see less questions and longer pauses. You have a lot going for you with this particular presentation that is very rich from where you came from and what you're doing with that now. Everybody loves a good story. You've got a great story to give. It's just a matter of just bringing some balance into it so that we are more connected and at one with you as you give your presentation. This is by far the best I have seen, even though I'm supposed to not have ever seen it before. Lie. It's great. So much better. We'll see you next time, and it's going to be tops, I'm sure. Thank you for letting me be of service this evening.
Thank you, speech evaluator Christine Robinson. Next, I'd like to call on our second evaluator, who will be evaluating Lola Pratt's speech. Please help me welcome Kimmy Avery.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I believe that speeches do not always have to be happy. They do, however, in my opinion, have to be timely and authentic. I loved that you used current events in your speech. You lit a candle. I love that you kept saying the same phrase over and over again. I'm still healing. You're still healing. I'm still healing. There was a cadence, almost a poetry to the way you were saying it. And it was repetitive in a really good way. It kept drawing us deeper and deeper into your speech. You used your phrases exquisitely to let each one sink in. Or your pauses really gave us that moment of just, oh, right, deeper and deeper. You were calm, which I loved, because it is an emotional topic, or could be for somebody. And you stayed calm, and yet you could feel your feelings. You were inclusive in that hug you gave us. You were focused on us. And that made your presence feel really real to me. I could hear your heart in each word. What I'd love to see is you position the camera so that your face is square on with the camera, either by elevating your computer so that you're square on, or sitting down. And in that case, you would use smaller gestures to fit yourself in, because I couldn't actually see your facial expressions very well. And the angle sort of went up, and while it kind of beautifully mirrored the back of your painting because there was a lengthy woman there. That was great, but I wanted to see you. Overall, I really enjoyed your speech. I'd love to see it again with a little bit more personal story, that's something that really connects you with the experience and more than just the statement of who you are as a person, being an African American or Black woman. Yeah, I get that. And you could share a little bit more, and I'd love to hear that because I believe you probably have some great wisdom in you that would be a blessing to every listener. Back to you, Khadijah, General Evaluator.
Thank you, speech evaluator. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to hearing reports. I'd like to first call on Sally Reyes, our grammarian with the grammarian's report. Please help me welcome Sally.
Hello. Oops, I just reduced. Okay, back again. We have loved and bathed and immersed ourselves in the favorite word of the day. And there's quite a list. We have Jay, Kimmy 1, Isaac 4. This is all freedom. Rosemary 1, Cynthia 10, Leo 5, Carolyn 20 or more. We have Maureen 4, Deborah 1, Frederica 1, Simon 2, Lola 1, and Cassandra 2. I didn't hear any flaws. I did hear 2 interesting words. I think I heard someone that was gaslighted. It's a very interesting word, and I have to go look it up because how does it work? It's fascinating visually. And fawn. I liked the word fawn as an action. So thank you for enlivening our stories with unusual words and the gratefulness and frequency of the importance of freedom. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian Sally Reyes. Awesome job. Now I will give my general evaluation of the entire meeting. I would like to commend everyone who participated in today's meeting to make it a success. Starting off with our Sergeant at Arms, who called the meeting to order on time at 6 p.m. Pacific time, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. We started and we kept on going. Our president warmly welcomed our members and guests. That was well done. I liked how our Toastmaster of the day took a handle and he just went with the meeting. He kept us on track. He was very motivating. I liked the way he was very supportive when Lola had some technical difficulties. And at one point he brought out a candle to support her speech. And I thought that was very well done. In addition, I would like to talk about Maureen as Table Topics Master. Wow, Maureen, you did an awesome job. I love the way that your questions aligned well with the theme of the meeting. I liked how you told us up front that we'll be getting 3 questions and you checked in with the Toastmaster of the day to make sure we had enough time for 3 questions. I appreciated that because you were respectful of the time and our time and you wanted to keep the meeting on track. I liked how you called on our guests to participate and everything was well done. You explained your role very well, and you reminded the speakers of the timing cards. We had a wonderful impromptu speaking section. I would like to offer feedback to our evaluators. I like the way our evaluators used the sandwich method today. You started with something positive that the speakers did. In the middle, you talked about what they could work on to improve their speech and bring it to the next level. And then you ended on something positive again that they did. In particular, Christine talked about how the speaker could balance her speech. And then she even modeled and provided specific ways the speaker could bring some balance to her speech. In addition, our next evaluator, Kimmy Avery, who also used the sandwich method, I like the way Kimmy showed Lola how she could improve the framing, improve herself in the framing to bring greater impact to her speech and to her delivery. Overall, evaluators, you did a wonderful job. Well done. I'd like to offer one feedback to everybody to make our next meeting and our future meetings as successful and even more impactful in the future. When it comes to role players, if you're on the agenda, I would recommend that you log in 5 to 10 minutes early before the meeting starts so that you can check your device. That way, if there are glitches, it can be sorted out prior to the meeting. Even though we had a small glitch, I like the way everyone came together to support our speaker. And I think she felt supported. She was able to log off and log back in. I think we did that very well. And it was, like our Toastmaster said, it was great transitioning there. All in all, it was my pleasure to be your general evaluator this evening. Thank you so very much. And with that, without any further ado, let me please hand over to our
timer
for the timer's report. Thank you.
Right. I was just about to throw the piece of paper out, but here it is. Isaac, who was our warm-up speaker, was 1 minute, 50 seconds. He was well within his 5 minutes. Carolyn, I will not, she was fine. She was perfect. Deborah, I want to really acknowledge you because I know this has been an area that you've struggled with, and you came in at 12:19, which was within the requirements of your speech of an extra 30 seconds. So congratulations to you, Deborah. Well done. Lola, 4:57 out of a 5-minute speech. Is that right? No, I think that's a 7 minutes.
4 to 6 minutes. 4 to 6 minutes.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's just fine. Kimmy and Carolyn and Simone did table topics, which are 2 minutes. Kimmy came in at 1:30. Carolyn came in at 1:29, and Simone came in at 1:12. You all made it to the green light, and Kimmy, you made it to the yellow.
It's 7:45.
Christine, one of our evaluators, clocked in at 3:13. Her time is 3, but she has a 30-second grace period, so it was right within the requirements. And Kimmy, you came in at 2:45. Spot on. I would say that we just really nailed it this time with the timing.
Very nice, we did something.
Thank you, Dr. Michelle Peticolas, and my apologies again. And see, we're so supportive. The Toastmaster right there just helped. And with that, I'd like to hand over the virtual lectern back to our Toastmaster of the day, Leo Hickman.
Right on. Thank you, Khadija. And I am going to pass it on to our Vice President of Education. Catch is, I don't know who that is, so I'm kind of waiting.
It's Kathleen. Is Kathleen back? I can take it if Kathleen's not back yet.
She doesn't look like she's back.
She's not back yet. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Leo. You did an amazing job. Can everybody give a whoop and a holler for Leo as our Toastmaster of the day?
Awesome, Leo, just awesome.
Great. Thank you, Leo. So we're moving into easy speak, and we're hoping that it will be an easy transition. We just want to make sure that you get the emails that Kathleen has been sending out, and then Victor and Mohammed are sending out for July. So we're going to get a month in advance, we hope, by the end of the month. We're just waiting to find out if we can have a special guest who will install our new officers and induct our new members. We're hoping for a past international president. We're in negotiations now. We just have to get final approval from Toastmasters International. And we're hoping that will be July 19th, but we'll let you know when that is. So make sure to respond to the emails that you get from Easy Speak saying whether or not you're going to attend and if you can do a role. And we're going to be transitioning for the next couple of months on this. In August, we're going to have Speechcraft again. We're going to start with opening ceremonies on August 2nd and August 9th. So we have our evening and our afternoon session. We'll be participating in Speechcraft, including the opening ceremonies, and we're hoping for a special guest, possibly an Emmy Award winning a voiceover actress will be our keynote speakers. So we're just hoping for that. And then we're going to start a Speechcraft on August 6th, 19th, I think it is, the third Monday of the month. So very, very exciting. We hope that if you have friends that have never joined Toastmasters before, or even if they're in Toastmasters, but they want special training in Speechcraft, special training to pick their topic and to evaluate well. Dr. Michelle Peticolis is developing our super extra curriculum that she's going to add. Yay! That she's going to add to the digital Speechcraft program with Toastmasters International. And we're going to book some amazing speakers to really teach you these deep, deep topics. So if you or a friend want to come and join the Speechcraft, we would love to have you. And so we're starting that with the introductions on August 2nd and 9th. And then the class will be thereafter. It'll go to about the end of December. And there will be a graduation. And we're hoping to connect with Oakland City Hall again and see if they'll do a proclamation for our Speechcraft ending, which they gave us. Everyone who completed the Speechcraft, they put their name embossed in gold on a proclamation, official proclamation from the city of Oakland. So we're hoping for that. We'll see what happens. No promises yet. Other than that, our end of the year is June 30th. I'm still going to turn in my Triple Crown and my Outstanding Achievement Toastmaster Award. If you're still in the running for those, make sure to get them in. And we'll be having a special ceremony installing our district's officers, including our own Carolyn Douglas. And she will have her DTM, and she will be the program quality director, one of our trio of leaders in District 57. So exciting. And also Linda Patton will be the area director, replacing amazing Dr. Michelle Peticolis, and her select distinguished area directorship. She's going to be passing the torch on to Linda. So very exciting. Now, anyone have any takeaways and chocolates? First, I want to see if we have any guests left that want to share their experience and what they're taking away with them today.
So we have a number of guests who are still with us. We have Tracy, Eva, Helena, and let's see, who else do we have?
Maybe raise their hands.
Simone, do any of you want to jump in there and tell us what you thought about the meeting? This is your chance.
Simone, are you there? Would you like to share?
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
We can hear you.
So I really enjoyed the meeting. It was very organized. I was able to follow, and I thank you guys for having me and for welcoming me. Watching the what are they? I don't know if you call, I know I'm called a speechgrapher. I don't know what they're called, the people who gave the speech.
Speaker.
Okay, the speakers. So watching the way they gave their speech, that helped me. It gave me a visual that I was able to see. I got the feedback that were given to them from the evaluators. I was able to learn from that also to help myself as well going forward to improve on my speeches. And I like the culture so far of the meeting that I've seen. I had a good time, and I thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Simone. And Simone joined Kadisha's Speechcraft in New York, and I had a chance to meet her last week. I'm so glad you came to visit us. Thank you so much. And we have a tradition of sharing chocolates. We used to do it in person. We'd actually give you a chocolate, but we do virtual chocolates now. Would you like a virtual chocolate? No sugar, no calories.
Sure, I'll take it.
Here comes your virtual chocolate. Woo!
Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great. Any other guests want to share their experience, what they're taking away with them today?
So I see Helena.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Should I go ahead? This is
Yes,
Tracy.
please.
Yes.
Tracy.
Okay.
Hi, you're from the Speechcraft too.
Yes.
I recognize you.
Yes,
Awesome.
Cynthia. I was invited courtesy of Khadijah, of course. Thank you, Khadijah, and thank you everyone for having me this evening. It gave me a lot of food for thought this evening, just hearing everyone's definition of what freedom means for them, and also to think about what it means for me, or what's keeping me from being free, and lots of things go through my mind. But I'm inspired and encouraged by the stories that I've heard, and everything I've seen in the chat, and so it makes me want to be more free about things that hold me back, or so thank you for your inspiration, everyone. And listening to the speeches also tonight, I realized that sometimes speeches can be very animated, but they can also be natural, as they were this evening. Just listening to Lola, was it, and Deborah, they were very natural, and in their presentation and the delivery. Sometimes, we can see it where there's a lot of hand gestures or dramatics, but it can also be just as effective the way they delivered it tonight, and I appreciated that. And that's what I have to say in a nutshell. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Would you like a chocolate, a virtual chocolate? No sugar, no calories.
My hands are open. There it goes. Got it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
also.
any other guests like to share? Or members, raise your hand. We'd love to hear from you.
I saw Helena looking like she was about ready to speak. I saw her mic off for a second. Helena, you want to?
Helena.
Hi guys. No,
Hi.
I just hello. I was just going to say that I fully agree with what the girls just said, with what Tracy and let me read her name, Simone, I guess.
Simone.
Said. And I love to participate, to listen to you guys speak, to pay attention to the feedback and see how organized it is. It makes me, it feels like being part of it too. Thank you for holding this meeting.
Great. And we have a Speechcraft starting in August. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yay. I'll take a look at it for you.
Great. And would you like a virtual chocolate? No sugar,
sure.
no calories. Here you
totally.
go. Welcome. Glad you came. And any of other guests or members want to share a takeaway? I would like to hear from Deborah, especially. I would like to hear what gaslighting is.
Hey, Cynthia.
Hey.
Gaslighting is when someone tells you that your reality is incorrect, that what you're feeling or what you saw a red light, but they told you it was green. And so they're trying to mess with your reality. And that's what gaslighting is.
And it comes from a play and a movie called Gaslighting, where a man tried to make his wife feel she was insane and tried to drive her insane with the gaslight. Yeah, awesome. So how was your experience tonight, Deborah? How did you feel giving that speech?
I felt good. Even though I'm a morning person, so my energy is usually not as high as it is in the morning. It's the evening, but I felt good. I felt good about it, and so I enjoyed the feedback. But I want to, I hope my goal was to use my experience to connect to the audience and to hopefully inspire them, or something in them to maybe say, oh, am I feeling my emotions, or am I stuffing them, or am I conscious, or do I listen to myself, my intuition? So I'm hoping that that's what I did, and thank you for the opportunity.
Great. And do you feel prepared to give your speech at your other event? That's Women's Speak, right, on Thursday?
Yes, I would like to be able to just let it rip. So I will see if I can do that while reading some maybe bullet points.
Okay. Would you like a virtual chocolate? It won't keep you up tonight.
I would. Milk chocolate, please.
Here you go. Chocolate.
Thank you.
And anyone else want to share? We just have a couple minutes left here. Time for another share or two.
May I take just a quick minute and encourage everybody, when you see the From Easy Speak in your inbox, click that darn thing and get in there and tell me what you need to be able to participate on our platform, because this is our platform and we need to get in there and weave that beautiful fabric together.
Yes. So we can take off with our rocket ship. We are loading our rocket ship with Easy Speak. And I know you're working on June. Mohammed's working on July. We're going to get ahead of the curve here. Great. Fabulous. Do you want to share your nugget from today?
Kathleen, yes, I had a marvelous time. We were the coolest crew ever. I mean, the speeches were brilliant. They were polished. They get better and better. These folks get better and better. I had the pleasure of seeing Regina and Cassandra, my beloved Cassandra, and we all were just glowing.
Great. And Natasha gave her icebreaker speech. I don't know if Natasha is still here.
Yes, she is, and was very clever. This is a clever person, Natasha.
She sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Cynthia, you froze.
Want a chocolate?
I want a big cherry.
Here you go. Okay. Big cherry chocolate. Okay, here you go.
No, just the cherry. Just the cherry. You can have the chocolate. I'll take the cherry.
Here's a fresh big cherry. Yum. Natasha, are you here?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
You want to share
Yes,
briefly
I
about
am.
giving your icebreaker,
Okay.
and then we'll close.
I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry.
Can you tell us, how was it giving your icebreaker tonight?
Oh, it was really nice. I really appreciate all the feedback and the comments. I love constructive criticism because I always want to learn how to grow and improve. So I got some good food for thought, and then listening to the other speakers, that was very, very interesting. I love everybody.
Great. And would you like a virtual chocolate?
Oh,
Here you go. Woo!
got it.
Awesome. And before we go, we had Maureen saying, what a freeing meeting. I feel uplifted and inspired. Thank each of you for your presence and your contribution. Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a wonderful meeting. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.
And we can stop recording.